All right, shalom, shalom. All right, first and foremost, giving all praises, honor, glory, and worship unto Yahweh, Bahashem Yahushai, Bahashem Mechakodash. Double honors to the elders and the apostles of Great Millstone. Citations into you, Akim. All right. So this is a part 3 of Deuteronomy, the 22nd chapter. Of course, I've already done part 1 and 2. And this is part 3. And we will be discussing and going over, overviewing verse 22 on down to 30. All right. This is verse 22. It says, if a man be found lying with a woman married to an husband, all right, and it's not talking about having paperwork, okay, it's talking about if a woman is engaged, all right, or has already had the consummation. So if somebody has a quote unquote in this modern day, if you're dating and somebody has a boyfriend or a girlfriend, which that's all modern madness. You know, this is the boyfriend, girlfriend, or whatever else people call my man, my girl. This is all low-level Western madness. It's hard to even equate the idiotic behavior that people do in the West these days to, you know, to the scriptures and to how life is actually supposed to be. But to equate it, yes, that would be, if you're dealing with a man and the man is having sex with you, that's your husband. All right. So just to put it to understanding, or it's not talking about, oh, you went to the courthouse and you know he already had sex with you about 100 times, and now you went to the courthouse and did paperwork, and you went down the aisle. That now you're married. Now that's your husband. That's not what it's talking about. Make that clear. Okay. Let's see here. It says, if a man be found lying with a woman married to an husband, then they shall both, it says, then they shall both of them die. Both the man that lay with the woman and the woman, so shall I put away evil from Israel. Right, because that's adultery. One of the 10 Commandments, la'ata na'ap. All right, don't commit adultery. No adultery. Thou shalt not commit adultery. That's what that means. And that's what adultery is. That's exactly what adultery is. And you notice, it's not, adultery is not, okay, when a man has multiple women. It's when a man has sex with a woman that belongs to another man. All right. So verse 23. Okay. It says, if a damsel that is a virgin be betrothed unto a husband. All right. which betrothed means engaged, by the way, and to a husband, it says, see here, and a man find her in the city and lie with her, then ye shall bring them both unto the gate of that city, and ye shall stone them with stones that they die. So the first verse, all right, in verse 22, that's if they had already had sex, like, pardon me, that's if they were already married after the engagement period. All right, they already went into the wedding chambers and they had sex. So they were consummated the marriage. Okay, if you lie with a woman that did that, then you be put to death and she be put to death. And if a woman is engaged to a man, and in the ancient world, a woman that is engaged or betrothed, that means they had not yet had sex yet. Now it's like, oh, we're engaged. That's my fiance. No, you already had sex with her 500 times. All right. These people, this Western madness, people marrying trees, just doing all type of stupid stuff. All right. Just nobody has a father in the household, but these people think they know what but this is the path. Everybody on drugs. Everybody's a whore. All the women are whores. But this is the beacon of. Okay, exactly. It's not. I'm glad you realize it. Anyway, let's get through this. All right. So in verse 23, it's speaking about if they're engaged, which betrothed means engaged. That's talking about, for instance, the father has already promised his daughter to a man, and they made the communication, whether it's been on paper or not, that woman is to be his wife at a set time. She's not allowed to have sex with anybody else other than that man. Now, she can have sex with the engaged man before the marriage, before the wedding ceremony, but it would be looked down upon. It was not a good look. It's not against the law. They can do that, but it would be, well, why couldn't you wait? Like, that's so, that's not a good look. Like Joseph and Mary. Joseph had sex with Mary before the ceremony, and it wasn't it's okay, but it's just like, oh, dude, come on. But point being, I'm just giving understanding. All right. Now, but in this situation is if a woman is betrothed or engaged to a man, the father of that woman has made the arrangement for that woman to be with a specific man, but some other guy came and had sex with her. Now, she didn't want to marry. I don't want to marry what my daddy said I got married. I'm going to go be a whore and a harlot, and I'm going to go have sex with some other dude that I like with my stupid behind. That's basically what happened in this situation. All right. It says, then, so what did the Bible say should happen? Then ye shall bring them both out unto the gate of the city, and ye shall stone them with stones that they die. The damsel, because she cried not, being in the city, and the man, because he hath humbled his neighbor's wife. So even though that they had not, the actual supposed husband didn't actually have sex with the lady yet, but that was still his wife because he had made the arrangement with the father. They were engaged. All right. It says, so shalt thou put away evil from among you. All right. So all these people say they believe in God. They believe in the Bible. You don't believe in the Bible. Stop. Just stop. Just stop it. You don't know the Bible. You don't know the mind of God. All right? Now, this is a different context. Verse 25, it says, but if a man find a betrothed, which betrothed means engaged. Let's prove it. Hey, what you talking about betrothed mean engaged? Well, let's go into the Hebrew. All right? I believe it's, that's fine, I'm sorry. Right here, betrothed. Yeah, arash, that's right. Ha ma arasha in that context. Right here means engaged. All right, there we go. We're not just making stuff up. All right, a betrothed damsel, and a damsel is a young lady. It's a woman of marriageable age. All right, in the ancient world, even in a lot of parts in Asia and the Middle East and Africa, a woman got married after she reached her menstruation, her period. So women would get married 12, 13, 14, 15. All right? That was the common age for a woman to get married. If a woman was 21, 22, 23 and still had not gotten married, it was looked upon as an older woman. This is embarrassing. It's like, dang, she still don't got a husband? That's how they looked at it. And go look it up. Oh, what you talking about is 12, 13. How about you go chat GBT something? How about you go on Google? These people are so fucking stupid. Then they slander us. Oh, you guys teach, you guys are molesters. No, we're not. You're just stupid. Go look up in secular history, what was the age, the marriageable age, all right, for a woman in ancient Israel. You know what? Hey, ChatGPT, what was the marriageable age, the most common age for women in ancient Israel and biblical times to get married at? In ancient Israel and biblical times, the marriageable age for a woman was generally understood to be when a girl reached puberty. A, B, all right? These people, man, you've been in the West too long. It says, but you want to slander us. What you think God got to say about your slander? What you think Yahweh Shemar Shah is going to say about your emotion and your stupidity? You're going to be judged for it. Which was often around 12 to 13 years old. Often around 12. Is ChatGPT lying? Do we like what's going on? Go Google. If you don't believe ChatGPT, go Google. Yeah, you just a bunch of. Let me stop. Let me just go ahead and finish this. Because it's like we get tired of getting slandered and lied upon, and it's annoying. But it's just a part of the cross. Let's just keep reading. It says often around 12 to 13 years old. This is consent with Jewish law, which sets 12 years old one day as the minimum age for a girl. All right, yes, because that's when a woman reaches her cycle. All right, it's not a specific. There's nothing in the Bible that says the age is 12. That's just when women naturally get their cycle. They get their cycle at 12 to 13 years old. Now, if a woman, that's what it is. Okay. Now, sometimes women get their cycle a little bit early in this society, especially because of their diet and their hormones are off. Well, in that case, you will wait for the woman to get a little bit older. That's why you had women who were engaged, and you'll wait to the appointed time where the parents might want to wait to a little bit longer. The husband might wait a little bit longer for the ceremony. It's not a set date as soon as she get on her cycle. All right. But the point being, that's when women got married. All right. It says this. All right. Let's also for marriage. Key points: puberty marked readiness for marriage. Physical maturity, rather than a specific age number, was the main criterion. See? Most common marriage. Girls were commonly betrothed shortly after puberty, so 13 to 15 would have been typical. So you have women getting married, going into the wedding chambers between 13 and 15. And sometimes 12, because somebody could be betrothed. Somebody could be betrothed from when they're young, before puberty. That could happen. But sometimes you could have a woman that was betrothed. The father made the arrangement for whatever political reason or whatever reason he did. Well, okay, this is my best friend. I'm gonna marry her to my best friend or my best friend's son. And that she could have been younger than 12 when they made that arrangement, but they will wait till she got on her, until she hit puberty. Look, betrothal, erosion, right here. Well, let's go to arranged marriages. These were usually arranged by families, often with economic or tribal alliances in mind. Betrothal. See, we say these other Israelite camps, they're not studied, bro. They're not fit to teach. Betrothal, erosion, a formal binding agreement that could happen even earlier. See, just like I said, sometimes around age 12, with marriage following later. Look, men typically marry older, often in their late teens to early 20s, after they had established some means of livelihood. Right, so after they got their business situated, or I don't want to say career, but like their occupation was more established, So man would marry in their 20s, but they would marry women that were like 13, 14. Okay. Look, let's keep reading. This was a norm across many ancient societies, not just Israel, including in Greek, Roman, and Middle Eastern cultures. Social and economic conditions, as well as lifespan and mortality rates, also played a role in encouraging earlier marriage for girls. Right, so women was it, and even today, at what age are these women starting to have sex? Because remember, when a woman has sex, that's supposed to be when she married. She's not supposed to have sex with 78 men, and then number 79. Oh, I'm married. No, you're not. You're a whore. You're a huge whore. That's what you are, according to the Bible. I don't know. Maybe you like believing in fairy tales. That's what that is. You had sex with 7 dudes, and then number 8, you had sex with 4 dudes, 5 dudes, and then now I'm married. No, that's not what God said. Maybe that's what somebody told you up on TV, and you were scrolling through some shit and you seen something, but that's not how it works. You turn to channel 50 or something, and you like, oh, I guess this is the standard. No, it's not the standard. That's why you don't have everybody's miserable. Nobody can have any pair bonding because the woman has dealt with too many men. This is not how the Lord made it to be. No type of adultery, no type of self-accountability, filthiness, STDs. Where does this come from? If a woman only had sex with her husband, it's not going to be no STDs. If the only dude that woman had sex with was her husband, what STDs? If a man didn't have sex with women other than his wives, okay, how would there be STDs? Exactly. Exactly. You wouldn't even if there was multiple wives. If a man had multiple wives, he wouldn't need to deal with harlots. Which the women that we deal with now, period, are harlots. I don't know if somebody went up there and told you. The woman that we call my bae, these were my boo, good night, heart face. That's they harlots. It's okay. We almost out of here. This is part of the curses for us breaking the commandments of Yahweh Shema Shai. Shoot, a lot of the women that we deal with now got more bodies than ancient world prostitutes. I'm gonna hit you with that. How about that? Women we deal with now, a lot of the women, all right, not all of them, but a lot of them, these women, the average woman has more body count than ancient world prostitutes. Ancient world prostitute didn't have to have sex every day. Okay? But let's just get back to the all right. All right, here we go. Let's get through this. Verse 25, it says, but if a man find a betrothed damsel in the field and the man force her, meaning he raped her, that's what that's talking about. That's if somebody's engaged and he raped that lady, he raped that young girl, that damsel. It says, and lie with her, then the man only that lay with her shall die. But unto the damsel thou shalt do nothing. Meaning you can't harm that damsel. All right? Because he raped her. Verse 26, it says, but unto the damsel thou shalt do nothing. There is in the damsel no sin worthy of death. For as when a man riseth against his neighbor and slayeth him, even so is this matter. For he found her in the field, and the betrothed damsel cried, and there was none to save her. Verse 28. That's why the scripture spoke about gadding abroad. All right. Anyway, verse 28. If a man find, and then this is probably the most controversial scripture in the Israelite community, because these people are emotional and they just want to hate. They just got hate for great millstone. Their hate has blinded them from reason and logic and what the scripture actually says. All because of hate. Now let's read it. Verse 28, Deuteronomy 22:28. We stood by this from day one. We haven't flinched. And these agents, IUIC and these guys, they called up the brothers' jobs. They got certain brothers fired. They made brothers lose their businesses and occupations. this lying, calling people numbers, talking about that we're rapists. This is what these maggots did. What do you think the Heavenly Father? What do you think Yahweh Shai gonna say? How are they gonna answer for this in the day of judgment? Verse 28, it says, if a man find a damsel that is a virgin, which is not betrothed. Key word, these are key words. She is not betrothed. So in this situation, if the damsel is a virgin, but she has not been engaged, her father has not committed her to anybody yet. It says, and lay hold on her. That's the same thing as the term force. This is talking about the same thing. Lay hold, all right. Tapash, where we at? In the Hebrew, tapash, which means what? To catch, handle, lay hold, take hold of, seize, wield. Let's see. Siri, what are synonyms for the word rape? Not Siri. It's not fucking Siri. This is ChatGPT. Synonyms, nigga. Let me see. We go to the definition. All right. Look, use of force or threat is not always to rape somebody doesn't mean you threaten them. That it can be that, but it means to force somebody. All right. Now, if you go to Google and you do your research, all right, you'll see that word rape, it means to catch, to handle, to lay hold, to seize, to arrest. Look, to be arrested. Does that sound like this is consensual sex? To arrest? What happens if you're arresting somebody? That's not consensual. That's the dude, he took her. He took it. He took the box. Wheel. To catch. Like a prey. Handle. Take hold of. Seize. What is seize? All right. Which you know what these words mean, but if you can go and do your research, and these same words will come up for the term rape. All right, because that's what that word means. All right, to take hold of. All right. Look, to be taken. Do you see that at the bottom? To be taken. He took it. To take. All right. That's it's talking about raping somebody. All right. Now, do we do that? No, you fucking idiots. Do we condone that? No, you fucking idiots. Do they say we do that? Yes. Do they say we condone that? Yes. Are they liars? Yes. Are they slanderers? Yes. Are they children going to starve of famine? Yes. Are they going to take the MOTB? Yes. Are they going to pay for their slanders? Yes. Do they hate their neighbor in their heart? Yes. So let's read that again, starting from verse 28, and we about to be done. It said, if a man find a damsel that is a virgin, which is not betrothed, all right, which is engaged, and lay hold on her, which is the Hebrew word thapash, which means, you know what it means, and lie with her. It means to take, and take her. We just read what it meant to take. And take her, and you go into different translations of the Bible, and literally they translate it, more modern translations, they translate it into the term rape. But Great Millstone, y'all, no, we not. You just a fucking piece of shit. I'm sorry. Let me just continue to read. People don't like being slandered, man. We don't like that. We don't like how you guys have tried to destroy our life. All right? They dragged our name through the mud. Nobody want to be called these different terms. Lied upon. It says, lie with her, and they be found, verse 29. Then the man that lay with her shall give unto the damsel's father 50 shekels of silver. I see how much money in modern buying power is 50 shekels of silver. Can you tell us? No, they can't tell us. Can they tell us what the Hebrew word for rape is? Or for lay hold is? No, they can't tell us. But what they can do is slander our names. They're good. They can go. We're going to go on the internet. We're going to find this brother IP. We're going to hack his phone. We're going to do this. We're going to be some hoes. They can do that. But they can't tell you what the name of the Heavenly Father is in Hebrew. They can't. But they can track a brother IP, and they can call up to his job and try to ruin a brother's life. But they can't teach the Bible, though. That's what they can't do. They can't correctly teach the Bible. That 50 shekels is, in modern buying power, is $50,000. I'm not talking about how much money it is equivalent to. I'm talking about in modern buying power, that would be roughly $50,000. Okay? So do your research. All right? And so, essentially, they will have to, and that's the equivalent of how much a plot of land would have been. It's the equivalent of essentially like a dowry. All right? All right? 50 shekels of silver, and she shall be his wife, and he would have to marry her forever. And then here these, I already know, I can hear him. What, he raped her? What? God don't know what he talking. I know you a stupid piece of. I bet you would say that, wouldn't you? So what we gonna do? I guess let him be let you pieces of shit be the judge. I guess God don't know what he talking about. I guess we don't listen to how about you Masha. Let's listen to this nigga with the fucking mustard stain on his shirt. What we supposed to do? We supposed to kill him, and then what about the woman? Who gonna marry the woman? This is not America where you marry trees. Nobody wanted to marry her. She was some in the ancient world. Only women who got married were virgins. Nobody would marry her. The father would not be able to make any money off of her. She'll be destitute. She'll be pushed into prostitution. You don't know. You don't understand. What? The consequences to put him to death. So what the man gonna do? What he gonna do if he couldn't control his lust? He was drunk and he got on top of her or whatever. So what he gonna do now since he ain't no cameras? What he gonna do now since he don't want to get caught? Since you think he should be put to death? What you think he would have did? These people are not spiritual. He would end up offing the damn girl and trying to get away. You people avoid a judgment, man. The non-elect. So the Lord knows what He's talking about. These scriptures is, oh well, but my opinion and this and that and it don't hold no weight in the heavens. This is why you're not the elect. We keep telling you guys, starting from Apostle Elders on down, that this thing of ours is only about the elect. Only the elect are going to be able to properly understand the totality of this doctrine. Going to have the faith. So it's all about the elect. Not just somebody who's some black ass nigga or girl that know they're Israelite. That does not make you the elect. It says, she shall be his wife, because he hath humbled her. He may not put her away all his days. He's prohibited from divorcing her. Verse 30, a man shall not take his father's wife, nor discover his father's skirt. All right, so meaning he's not supposed to a man's not supposed to have sex with like his father's concubine. If it's a father, it's not talking about the dude having sex with his mother. It's talking about the father having multiple wives. A man can't say, "Ooh, I want one of my father's wives," or "I'm gonna go inside of one of my father's wives." Ooh, this one of my father's wives is pretty young and attractive. You guys don't understand. It could have been one of the father could have been 40. 45, 40. He could have had the son at 20. And the son and the father took himself another wife that's 13, 14, 15. And then the son seeing her like, yo, she's beautiful. You can't go into that woman, that girl. That's what it's talking about. Because that's your father's nakedness. You can't do that. Not talking about, it's some old ass. It's his stepmom. These people they avoid the judgment. They ain't talking about,